What's up, world? This is Stefan.
And this is Mark.
And this is the Likeable Assholes podcast. Always bring you that real shit. Alright, so I do want to take 1 second, if you don't mind. I want to give it a moment of silence to the people in New Zealand who were killed in a mosque. It was a terrible, tragic terrorist incident, and I just want to take a minute. A moment of silence for him. All right. So, Mark, my man, good to have you back with me, man.
No problem. Good to be here.
Man, it was a really good episode we had last time, so it's especially great to have you back. And I want to get your opinion on the Jaguars. They've been making a lot of moves, you know. How you feel about it?
Okay, the Nick Foles acquiring.
Right.
I feel good about it. I feel confident in it. Am I sad to see Blake Bortles go? Of course. He contributed a lot to our offense and did a lot as far as making us who we were as a team, as far as being a contender these last few seasons that have passed.
Right.
I mean, naturally, things didn't work out as well as our expectations of what they had for the team. But look at the schedule we had. I mean, the first almost 25% of the games, we ended up having to play the New York Giants, the New England Patriots, and then our nemesis, the Teen Titans, as I call them. We haven't beaten that team in how many years?
I know, at least 2.
You know, and it's just ridiculous. We have not been able to beat these guys. And I'm hoping that Nick Foles can offer some charge to the jump. Now, with everything that Blake knew leaving the team, it frightens me almost because he knows quite a bit of the playbook. This will be an adversary that won't be easy to beat if he gets with somebody else. So we got to pay attention to that and change some things up in preparation to see him again. Because I know for a fact we're going to see him again. Remember Blaine Gabbert?
Blaine Gabbert about undefeated against us.
You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. We got to be smarter with our trades and our releases. Like right now we require Chris Conley from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Give me your opinion on that.
I think he's okay. I didn't think he was a great receiver, but I think he's a good pickup. I hope that's not who we're planning on having as our primary target. I really hope we add to that, particularly in this draft. I like DJ McCaff, and but I don't know if he'll still be on the board by the time it's our turn to pick. So hey, so I'm not gonna get my hopes up too high.
Yeah, he was a former Georgia Bulldog and was signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is one of them guys that they say is one of those deep pass catchers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you can space the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But that's basketball term.
The Jags struggled mightily at the quarterback season last season when they tried to assimilate some things with the whole system once it fell with DeMarcus Lee getting injured. Chris Conley's supposed to be that guy who's supposed to be able to step up in case DeMarcus Lee gets injured again.
So, Marquise Lee, is he still on the team?
Yes, as far as I know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? He just signed the contract. Yeah, but how long was I wasn't familiar with the terms of that contract.
You mean something we got to look up and explore to see how long he's going to be with them.
That might be the most irrelevant thing I ever searched.
You know what I mean?
That Marcus Lee contract might be the most irrelevant thing that you can Google.
Probably so. But
we're gonna do it anyway because we're on topic. I am concerned. I'm concerned because I'm not seeing Fournette turn into what we thought he was going to be. Right?
Okay, you want to go to that one?
Yeah. Of course I want to go there. I mean, he looked like a middle of the road running back last year at best. TJ Yeldon was easily our best running back last year. And also, Leonard Fournette lacks this very basic ability that most NFL players have. It's called availability. If it's not for him being a knucklehead, which really he only had one incident with that, or it's injury. And another thing, man, y'all need to stop running into these NFL players on the road, okay? That happened. Like he was playing like trash before he got hurt, but still, that's not the point.
Fournette, I admired and thought he was phenomenal the season before last with the numbers he put up. You know, this year it was kind of shaky with him. A lot of emotional tension with him. A lot of trying not to understand the difference between him being upset and trying to take things from a personal level and trying to take it with his game. Then the injuries. I look at him, I don't see a problem child. I just see a guy who's trying to learn and trying to develop on his own. Would I have released him instead of Blake Bortles? Hell yeah. Because of the simple fact, look at the comparison of what you need in the scheme as far as your offense. You got Blake Bortles. You got a premier, decent quarterback, okay? But you got a running back that's this phenomenal name. However, you having all these problems and issues with him. And I thought maybe it would have been a decent thing to let him go or trade him and release the cap and give Blake Bortles another chance at the second string.
Yeah, I think he would be a valuable second string quarterback. I'm not sold on Leonard Fournette, I hate to say it, because he really seemed like a really nice guy, to be honest with you. He's very charismatic and very likable if you actually get to see him in interviews and, you know, and so forth. So it's gonna be that part of me that's going, that, you know. So I kind of, like I said, I'm just trying to be objective, and he wasn't extremely productive, but at the same time, sophomore year, probably a sophomore slump, and he definitely has the ability to correct his trending position. You know what I'm saying? So, it's, man, as much as I like Jaguars, man, they're not the ones making the noise in the offseason. It's the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
Cleveland
it is the Browns.
The Cleveland Browns.
It is the Browns. The Browns who have just signed Odell Beckham.
Yes. They traded for Odell Beckham. Signed Kareem Hunt. Sheesh.
Yes.
Although Kareem Hunt is on an 8-game suspension. Can I get your opinion on that suspension? What you think about it?
Woo! I'm trying to come to an understanding of the NFL's standard on suspensions. Clear me up. Give me the basis on what he's been suspended for so I can form an actual opinion so I know what I'm talking about.
Nutshell, domestic abuse.
Domestic abuse. Okay. These domestic abuse thing. Ray Rice taught us, number one, the NFL just ain't gonna tolerate it. Okay?
No. They're not gonna tolerate it after they see a video.
Well, okay, I'm trying to. Okay, all right, let's say that after they see a video. Now, the situation with this gentleman, did he actually put his hands on the woman?
Technically, no. This is what happened. He was trying to get to her. Group of people was holding him back. He ended up pushing a guy into her. She hits the ground. She hit the ground pretty hard.
Okay.
So she gets up and she like squatted on her leg, on her knees, and she's woozy. She's getting herself together. It's really over at this point. He comes and trips her while she's bent down. While she's bent down. Which it really wasn't much of a trip, but still, it's enough. Okay? It's enough.
For them to cause an alarm to make a thing.
Right. So you know what you did, you know the consequences. Now the NFL has it in writing. Hey, any domestic or violence against women, that's 8 games. You know that. You knew. You chose to put your check on the line for some bimbo. I don't need to call it that. Please excuse me, I don't mean to say that. I don't know this woman at all. But this woman don't mean nothing to you. Apparently, you gave her
Put your
check.
hands on her, I mean, you know.
Yeah, you gave her a check. I wonder if she settled out of court for some money or something. Because usually civil suits, follow such incidents.
Yeah, they do. Which I wanted to get briefly off topic for a second. Remember what we talked about the Kobe Bryant thing?
Yeah.
You were correct. There was a settlement for sexual misconduct, even though a charge was dropped in aspect of that, of an undisclosed amount.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
But she did recant her story and admitted that she told a damn lie. That doesn't change. But back to this whole thing with this whole lawsuit thing. It's a matter of whether or not these women want to actually pursue charges against these men. Because here's the thing, if you really want to see justice for whatever's been done to you as far as abuse, don't settle for nothing. Don't never settle for nothing less than justice. Women out there, I don't give a damn who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Keep fighting for your rights to be seen in front of a judge, to have your story told on what this man, or hell, this woman did to you. Okay?
Can I keep it a buck with you? How much would you say justice costs? How much would you say?
It's priceless.
Okay, I knew that was gonna be your answer. Okay.
Of course.
Now if you get this justice, right? Can you go buy you some shoes with this justice? Can you pay your rent with this justice? Better yet, can you pay for your for your therapy? Can you pay your shrink with your justice?
What justice ensures the balance and the equilibrium within our law and court system, to ensure that people who go through situations where they've lost loved ones to murder, kidnapping, theft, or been victimized and exploited, that there's a way in a practical system put in place for an ideal event to occur where the person who is to blame can be held accountable. No, it won't buy you this and buy you that, but at the same time, it keeps murderers, rapists, degenerates, and so forth off our streets.
Hold on.
Somewhat.
Hold on. You can't settle outside of court for murder, so that's a bad example. Because you're dead.
Well,
ain't nothing to settle.
Ain't nothing to settle, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that is true, but it's we look at, let's look at the situation with OJ. Look at a professional athlete. Let's parallel for a second.
Okay.
A professional athlete, O.J. Simpson. Nicole Simpson's parents sued him for wrongful death, for firing the security team that guarded his house 2.5 weeks prior to her and Ron Goldman, his wife, Nicole Simpson, being attacked and being murdered and butchered in their home.
Well, that's a different angle. She wasn't suing him for the murder. She was suing for the security.
Right. The fact that the fact that he fired the security team.
Right. So they took a different angle at it, so they could get money, and there's nothing wrong with that.
You know, so you look at that situation and you say, okay, justice, a price tag. As far as it goes, it's not really a lot that you can really put on it. As far as that, now the NFL and the images that they're trying to maintain for themselves as far as athletes go, we look at that and we say, okay, its rules and civil court and the court of public opinion's rules. Give me your take on that.
Well, civil court. Okay.
You get what I'm saying with that, right?
No. So let's say, I'm a proponent of, look, if this man touched me 5 years ago, and I was 15, I was underage, and I can prove it that I was touched, and this man is a billionaire, right?
Right.
I'm gonna sue, because you know what happens, right? Let's say he goes to jail, he's gonna do 3 years tops, because that's what billionaires do. They don't do much time. So I'm gonna be damaged mentally, right? So I'm gonna need some compensation. And I don't think him behind bars for a few years is enough. No, to me, it's not enough. But hey, that's just one man's opinion. You understand where I'm coming from, right?
Of course I do.
Like sometimes a peace of mind ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
A peace of mind just sometimes it just ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying? That like I'm mentally screwed, and at least I can have some financial freedom so I can find myself, repair myself. You know what I'm saying?
okay. Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's just one angle of looking at it. Like I definitely get like, hey, because there's also another way of looking at it where like, well, if he did that to you, he'll do it to somebody else, and you don't want that person to do it to anybody else.
That's true.
And I understand that, and I can respect that, but I'm not thinking about nobody else.
I get what you're saying.
I'm like, let's take 2 seconds to be selfish. If you got 40, let's say you got $250,000 looking you in your face, how many people can honestly turn that down? Not just like, turn it down like metaphorically. Like I'm like, really, that like it fiscally doesn't make sense for you to turn that money down.
This is true.
Right? So what are you doing? What are we doing? Like I want to see him in jail so bad. I turned down $250,000. I ain't never been that angry.
True. Tyreek Hill. A powerful conversation we need to have about this. The Kansas City Chiefs have confirmed to the Star they are aware of law enforcement investigation involving wide receiver Tyreek Hill. The Kansas Department of Children and Families also said it is investigating him. Mm-hmm. I can only confirm we received a report and an investigation is ongoing, said Mike Dennis, spokesperson for DCF, who declined to comment further. The Star has obtained a police report from the Overland Park Police Department about a battery incident that lists a juvenile as the victim. Hill's fiancée, Crystal Espanol, 24, is listed under the others involved. The report is dated Thursday, but it's unclear when the illegal incident took place.
So, did he beat on the girl or the baby?
Okay, the club is aware of an investigation involving Tyreek Hill, the chief said in a statement of the Star. We're in the process of gathering information and have been in contact with the league and local authorities. We'll have no further comment at this time. A source familiar with the situation said Hill's fiancée has been in contact with Overland Park Police. The source said the incident was against the couple's 3-year-old son, resulting in a broken arm.
Oh.
As of Friday afternoon, Hill had not been charged with the crime. The NFL declined to comment. Hill told the Star at the January Pro Bowl in Orlando that Espanol is pregnant with twins.
So he broke the little three-year-old boy's arm?
Possibly, we're not aware. They're trying to investigate it.
But that may very well have been an accident. Because I don't think no one says, I'm going to break his arm. I don't think that's what happened.
It's a question within the discipline of the young boy when he became out of hand, and an issue in regards to what exactly happened with the whole thing in regards to the child. Do I think Tyreek Hill may have possibly been rough with him to the point where he disciplined him and broke his arm? Well, I don't know. I can't form an exact opinion on it.
The boy's 3?
The boy's 3.
Only thing I can think of is like maybe you was trying to get him, you was grabbing his arm and he probably snatched back a certain way or trying to get away. Like, because anybody who like maliciously, like,
right.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Because you would really have to throw this child.
Right.
To break his arm. Because you can't just punch people in the arm and their arm breaks. That's not how that works.
That's not how that works.
You have to literally throw them into another object, an object that ain't gonna move, like probably the floor or a wall or something.
Like, I mean, when I've heard interviews from Tyreek Hill and listened to him and spoken to people who recently spoken about his past, I don't get the rhetoric of a man who abuses women or children. Okay?
Well, she's gonna have 2 more of his children, right?
I don't get that right. She's pregnant with his twin. That's what he announced.
Is she speaking up for him?
She's speaking up for him to say that the accident was an incident.
I mean, if she's saying that, I'm pretty sure if she's a decent woman, she's choosing the child over that man any day.
I'm hoping so.
So if she's saying
pray.
that holds a little weight, that is not doesn't make it concrete. You know what I'm saying?
The investigation has to go on.
Right. But that does that is a good sign, because usually if you hurt somebody's baby, they're not having that. No.
Now here go. Now the plot thickens.
Okay.
Hill has a history of domestic violence, according to reports. He reportedly punched and choked Espanol, who was then 8 weeks pregnant with their son, on December 11, 2014.
Okay.
He was arrested and dismissed from the Oklahoma State football team. Hill pleaded guilty.
So he with the same woman.
Hill pleaded guilty to domestic assault and battery by strangulation on August 2015. He received 3 years probation. The Chiefs selected Hill in the draft round of the 2019 Hill in the 5th round of the 2016 NFL draft.
That's why he fell to the 5th round.
Now, this is my thing. If the NFL knows this man has this past, okay, now you understand something. All right?
Okay.
That he has this in his background. And then now this comes up as a link to possibilities of this man being an abusive man. Now here comes the question in the fire. If you suspected that, why did you draft him? Why did you even bother to draft him? Like the issue with the Jaguars with Blackman, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, there was accusations of Blackman having weed possession charges and DUIs in college.
No, there was no accusations.
Oh, well, I'm trying to word it. I'm trying to word it smoothly. I'm trying to word it smoothly.
No, yeah.
So I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be journalistically responsible.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah,
that was real.
Yeah, that was real. That actually did happen. You know what I'm saying, man? Because some of these charges were dropped against a lot of these guys right after they got drafted. Let's understand that.
Right, facts.
You know, so, I mean, and we coming into understanding, how do you feel about Tyreek Hill right now? And do you think needs to be some actual disciplinary action to get this guy out of the league? Give me your opinion.
I'm one of those people who truly and genuinely believe that child abuse is completely different from domestic abuse.
But they tag it.
They try to put it under DCF, all under DCF, because it's all domestic issues, and I get it, but I think those are totally different. And the reason you draft that guy is because that guy who was choking out a woman at the age of 18, you don't think he's going to be that same person at 25. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think that person's going to grow, and that was just like a incident. Because you notice a lot of domestic abuse situations happen to young people. Because young men and young women don't know how to handle their emotions and tempers. Like, that's why it's so high with young people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I guess you don't get what I'm saying. But but I feel like Tyreek, but to say someone intentionally broke that child's arm is a strong accusation that I feel uncomfortable labeling on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like he beat his girlfriend, he must be beating his children too.
We don't want to say that.
I don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying? Especially because that's your baby. That's your blood. You know what I'm saying? So to me, yeah, they're different, because that woman can come and go, but that child is of you. You see what I'm saying? So to me, I don't put those two in the same category, even though they fall in the same category as people they deem I guess vulnerable.
Correct.
And they also in the same house. So I get it why you would put those things together. However, I feel like it's dangerous to say because he beat that woman that he'll beat kids. I think that's
like in comparison with the Kareem Hunt.
Now, if you ask me if he's guilty of that, lock him up. Lock him up. If I'm not finna sit up here and tell you.
It ain't offending him. I don't give a damn how hard he catches the ball.
If you did it, then you need to be punished.
Right.
But I do have a problem with, the government trying to regulate how you can and can't discipline children. Like, you're not supposed to spank children, you can't do this, that, and third. I'm like, don't tell me how to run my house, dog. You know what I'm saying? And don't be giving these children no sense of power, thinking, oh, my mama can't beat me, I'll call the police. That's child abuse. Like, no, I literally just had to check my son for that, talking to his mom like that. He lost his damn mind. You know what I'm saying? Because you get caught up in it. You call them crazy if you want to. You get caught up in the system. You see how much they really care about you. See what I'm saying? See how much they really care about you. Because ain't nobody in this world gonna love you more than your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm your dad. I love him with everything I got. But a man's love don't compare to a woman's compassion that she naturally has. Like, I can't match it. I can try. You know what I'm saying? But God made her like that. She's a nurturer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, so I'm preaching now, but
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem, oh, what about it? I felt like that was like, he was wrong. Don't get me wrong. But I just feel like that was a small thing though.
Okay.
But if we're gonna do it like this, Chiefs, y'all just let Kareem Hunt go. Y'all wasn't playing with that. And I felt like that was minor. Like, if I watched the video, I feel like he was acting like a fool. And he ended up trying to get to her. He knocks a guy over into her.
You saw the video.
Yeah, he didn't actually hit her. Like I said, he jumped. He was trying to get to her, but he ended up bumping into a guy trying to get to her. The guy falls into her, and she ends up falling, had a pretty bad fall. And then she's gathering herself and trying to get up, and he comes over and trips her. I mean, it wasn't much of a fall, but still, it was the gesture in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you being really disrespectful. And like, so y'all not playing with this kind of stuff. So you let him go. So why are you holding on to Tyreek Hill for breaking a little kid's arm if you feel like that's what he did? I mean, if that's how you feel, then shoot, let him go. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like somebody's that terrible of a person where they out here breaking arms, then let him go too. Let him go. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody else pick him up. Or have the league blackball him like they did Ray Rice. And I'm not saying that the league was wrong. I mean, because the nigga uppercutted his wife. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to do it to one player, then do it to two players. Oh, no, we can lose one superstar player. We can lose one Pro Bowler. We can't afford to lose two. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got a real moral thing going on, then you need to let him go as well.
I agree totally.
I mean, because to me, personally, breaking a little kid's arm, that ain't nothing compared to what Kareem Hunt did. I mean, Kareem Hunt ain't had nothing on breaking a little kid's arm. I meant to say that the other way around.
Hunt was captured on video kicking and shoving a woman in the hallway of a Cleveland hotel. He was placed on the league's commissioner's exempt list and released by the Chiefs in December after the video was published by TMZ. I hate them motherfuckers, dog. I really do.
I mean,
and the Chiefs found he had not been truthful in telling them about the event. Of course he hadn't been. Of course he held bits and pieces back in trying to compare what you guys actually did.
Right.
Of course he did that.
But I'm gonna say this: TMZ has become a credible source.
They become a bunch of shit stirrers and instigators, if you ask me.
Yeah, but still a credible source.
Yeah, I mean, what you do with your facts.
They are providing, it's what you do with the facts. But they coming with facts.
Yeah, but they're a bunch of pricks. I can't lie about it, man.
But that's the thing about the writer. He always creates the narrative. He always creates the story. So whether or not he's lying is one thing. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not necessarily lying, just you have a different perspective. But they have facts and they have their perspective.
Yeah. Odell Beckham trade. What's your take?
Great. Get him out of New York.
Why? You felt like he didn't fit?
I felt like his future was limited.
Explain.
His quarterback is 37 years old, been on a downward spiral for the last 4 or 5 years, has led the NFL in interceptions on 3 different occasions, at least 3 different occasions that I know of. And then, I mean, it's funny how he can make a Pro Bowl, and that's his quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So that speaks volumes to how good he is, right?
Correct.
And so to get him out, like, that's a guy who I feel like he has a couple antics, might have some things, but he's not a legal problem guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get any legal trouble, which is like, I'll deal with that. I'll deal with Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens ain't never broke no crime. People get all this stuff, say all this stuff about Terrell Owens this, Terrell Owens that. When you see Terrell Owens in some legal issues, not never. But they'll applaud Ray Lewis, who was on trial for murder. Crazy how that works. How we pick and choose who we want to worship and put on this pedestal. And, that's funny, right?
I'm gonna step into that. What that's about is the court of public opinion. You feel me?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Because a writer, like I said, created a narrative.
It's okay. When I look at the situation of Ray Lewis when he got into that incident back in the day, and I look at how he used to be open to a lot of liberalism and a lot of hanging out as far as with the brothers and trying to do community outreach and really being outspoken on a lot of community black issues. I ain't gonna say he changed in his point of view of how he dealt with that. He changed the company and the crowd he hung out with.
Absolutely.
And he had to change his opinion on who he associated with as far as ideologies and practical thinking. He had to do these things. And once he did that, it got him into the whole scope of being not just a champion, but a people's person and being able to be somebody that people could say, yeah, I want my child to learn and develop and grow and have skill sets that a man like Ray Lewis does have. You know, now he's come under fire by a lot of radicals and Pan-Africanists who use the word that I hate using for black men like him.
Coon.
You know,
you gotta be honest with honest with yourself. He really, if you had to say a black slur about another black person, that'd probably be the one you go with.
But it's not fair. I mean, look at the outreach. Look at the stuff he's done for urban schools as far as school supplies. Look at the scholarships he's done. And I get it. He can't submerge himself so deeply within the networking of the black community so much because of the ruin. And when he was submerged, when he was right next to the people that he loved, look at what he got into. You know? So it's volumes as far as what he needs to do as far as being able to balance his life out and balance himself out as far as who he was in his career before he retired all the way up into that point. I mean, I look at it that way because they say they label Cam Newton the same thing. Certain Pan-Africanists, certain radicals of the left, certain pro-blacks who make those claims of themselves in that. But they hold up before I say that, let me hit you with this. They call themselves pro-black, but they use white supremacist racial slurs to prefer to black men who don't fit in their box. Let's say that. Let's understand that. Your thoughts?
Well, you got a good point about the slur, right? I'm guilty of that too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit up here and say I ain't never did it because I did. You're right. I probably shouldn't be doing that. Now to your other point, Ray Lewis was, I don't know, man. It just seemed like he acted like he didn't get it. He didn't understand why Colin Kaepernick was taking these. Oh, my daddy was in the military. Like they ain't got nothing to do. Like, this ain't had nothing to do with the military. Like, you keep talking about the military as if he's not talking about racial, social injustice. how do you keep bringing the military into it?
Well,
Right?
it's the thing.
Let's keep in mind also where he's living at the time. He's playing for San Francisco 49ers. He's in San Francisco. And right next to San Francisco, what is it? Oakland, right?
This is correct.
When you see the police in Oakland and how they treat people, and then you see the police in San Francisco, how they treat people,
We've discussed this.
it's totally different. You get what I'm saying? So him, a kid who grew up, you know, with white foster parents, he can see. Maybe he was a vocal his whole life because he had never seen it. But now, living in San Francisco, across the street from Oakland, like you get a first hand to see how different they treat black people and how they discriminate against people. So maybe that's where it came from. Anybody ever thought about that?
Okay. So when we're looking at the basis of athletes in general, notice that these athletes who keep getting themselves in these interesting, intriguing situations are men of color.
What are you talking about? Oh, you talking about people?
Period.
Oh,
These athletes that keep getting themselves in these unique situations that we're having these conversations about.
Well,
Notice that they're men of color.
I mean,
Does that not speak volumes?
no, it don't speak volumes. You know why?
Okay, I'm listening. Why?
Because black men make up 70% of the league.
Okay.
So
Does that mean
if
we got to act the fool because we make up more than half the league?
No, I'm saying it's over 2,000 players in the NFL.
Right.
You hear about 30 incidents and like, oh, what's going on with the NFL? It's 30 people out of 2,000. And you gotta think, if it's 2,000, what's the percentage? If it's 7% of black people, what's the percentage of that? That means 1,400 black people, and you got 30 people acting up. Like the numbers say, it's not that many people doing stuff, but the way they push it make it seem like niggas don't know how to act. And let's be honest, a lot of times, like you say, it's the same person doing the same stuff. And then the other stuff we talk about, and when I say out of those 30, only 10 of those are actual legal situations.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So then the other one would just be like locker room issues. You know what I'm saying? And they'll spin it to make it seem like they thugs. I remember, what's his name? Richard Sherman was considered a thug because he voiced his opinion loudly and unapologetically.
Unapologetically.
You know what I'm saying? And so he was considered, they called him a thug. He graduated from Stanford. Like, what are we saying?
Yeah. Is it becoming to the point that anybody who defies any type of oppression and injustice and corruption,
Yes.
if you defy that and speak out, you a thug now?
Bro, okay. What's her name? Ilhan Omar. She's been under fire every time she even whispers Israel. Whispers it. She's under fire. Anti-Semitism.
Well,
Anti-Semitism.
yeah, that group in particular, anytime you say anything about the region in correspondence or in reaction to any of the negative aspects of what our tax money is backing, which is basically genocide when we talk about Israel and the situation that we're doing over there, you're going to get met with some opposition that says anti-Semitism, but it's garbage.
Yes. But you understand that the same thing is happening on a much lower level
On a much lower level.
of the NFL.
It is. It is. It is, very much so.
And I just found out that for a long time, NFL wasn't even being taxed. That was interesting. But I digress.
Dolphins trade Tannehill to the Titans.
That's irrelevant.
Oh, okay. Let's explore that for a second. I mean, the Titans have been our nemesis in our side for quite a few seasons now. So that's why I'm concerned about. That's why I'm paying attention to them. You get what I'm saying?
You know why that don't matter? Because they don't beat us by going deep on it. They run the ball, and when they ran the ball 3 times, guess what they do? They'll run the ball again. That's exactly what they do. And Derrick Henry is, every time he sees us, it's like he wants to remind us that we passed up on him twice. In the first round and in the second round. Right? Derrick Henry ran for like 200 yards against the Jaguars last time they played. Like, it was pathetic. Derrick Henry is on a mission. We should have drafted him. And the thing is, I don't know if you know, but Derrick Henry is a hometown kid. He's been right there. He went to Yulee High School. And I don't know why we passed on him, because he won a Heisman, but we did. And I think we ended up getting TJ Yeldon in that draft, which is
a blessing, because that's the only reason why we won 5 goddamn games.
Well, I mean, that's okay, but if you compare him to Derrick Henry, then that's a curse. Because what Derrick Henry has done to us for the last 2 years, our last 4 meetings, it's been a curse.
Okay. So you saying that Tannehill, the Titans aren't going to get better or worse for us? They're
going to beat us regardless.
They're going to beat us regardless.
They're going to beat us with Blaine Gabbert. They're going to beat us with Mariota. They're going to beat us with Tannehill. It don't matter. They're going to beat us.
But can we beat them this season? What chances do we have?
We might be able to split one. We might be able to split one. If we lose the one at home, that's it. We're going to lose both of them.
Okay. I mean, I look at the Titans, man. I know that that's our adversaries and our rivals. I know they are.
Yeah.
I know they are.
Yep.
And I want
Remember that year we ain't lose to nobody?
Right.
Well, I don't know if you was in Jacksonville yet, but it was a year when we ain't lose to nobody in the NFL but the Titans. We lost to them 3 times.
3 times.
2 times in the regular season, 1 time in the playoffs.
Yeah. They are a bane and a nemesis. I want to beat these people's ass so bad in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm so tired of them talking shit. And then I'm gonna tell you who else I'm tired of. This big 6'4" goddamn tight end that played running back by the name of Forrester. That everybody keep digging around. I mean, he's 6'4".
Who you talking about?
Yeah,
Adrian Foster.
Is it Forrester with the dreads?
No, that's not him. No, you talking with the dreads for the Titans?
Yeah,
that's Derrick Henry. That's what I was just ranting about.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, somebody in the background just yelled "Roll Tide." Derrick Henry won the national championship and the Heisman as he went to Alabama, and he didn't go to Florida, which was the second school, because Fred Taylor's son went there, and then we passed up on him in the draft. I don't understand why you go but you know what? Because they felt like maybe because he got too many carries under Nick Saban, that maybe he'd be worn out by the time he got to the NFL, but that was wrong. That was wrong. I mean, he's a good back, and he's solid against other teams, but he is Hall of Fame good when he plays the Jaguars. I promise you, he makes it his personal thing to get us every year, man. Mm-hmm. But I kind of want to get off topic, man. Off topic just a little bit, man.
Okay.
Cause I seen Captain Marvel this weekend.
Okay.
I know you ain't see it.
I ain't seen it yet. We were supposed to saw it and gave our review together, but go ahead. How was it?
It was awesome. Okay, and if you follow in the Marvel comic universe, it's a must see. I don't, and I'm not being a fan when I say this. They have not made a bad movie, because it was a movie like Ant-Man. I did not want to see Ant-Man. I didn't want to see it at all, but I felt like I had to see it because it was part of the storyline. I'm sitting up there cracking up like, this is actually pretty good, right? And then it made me go back and watch the first Ant-Man, and I was like, oh, this was pretty good. I remember I stumbled because Doctor Strange had came out, and I didn't know much about Doctor Strange at all. I had no expectations. I just seen it just because I wanted to go to the movie, and so I picked that movie to watch. It just so happened that movie was fantastic. and people who don't really follow the MCU, they don't understand like those little movies like that. Like they're all good. They're all good. Like I haven't seen a bad Marvel movie yet. I've seen an okay Marvel movie. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a bad one yet. And this one is no different. I think this one is excellent. What would you compare it to? Like, what would you want me to compare it to, so I can tell you if it's better than that or if it's not as good?
Wonder Woman.
I didn't see Wonder Woman.
Okay. Elektra.
That's even a movie? I know that's a character, but is that they made a movie about her?
Yeah, there is a movie called Elektra. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll pick something easier. Man of Steel.
It was better than Man of Steel.
It's better than Man of Steel? Okay.
Man of Steel wasn't that great.
Man of Steel was actually pretty awesome.
I thought it was decent.
I like DC and I like Marvel. Naturally I appreciate Marvel.
Well, I'm a huge. I was a huge Superman fan, but I don't like the way they're doing it now. I thought the Man of Steel
join the club, but you know.
I thought Man of Steel was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought Man of Steel was good too.
I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was decent. But I feel like me not knowing nothing about Captain Marvel, and then like being blown away by this movie. I don't know.
Yeah, by me watching some of the things that I've seen in the past and being an old comic book fan, you know, I look at Captain Marvel as far as the character and the history of what I know, and I've been excited about the film. I haven't seen it yet. And storyline, how is the basis of the storyline? Is it corny or does it lead into something that really tells a really complex thing that builds a strong character?
Actually, they started off from. Can I tell the movie? Because I don't want to tell it all. But
Spoiler alert.
Right.
Spoiler alert. Just don't tell how it ends. She
starts the movie not knowing her full self. Right. She like
self-discovery origin.
Right.
Most like
that's actually the perfect words for it. So, yeah. So if you think that would be interesting, it's never what you do, it's how it's done. Like there's nothing new, nothing you do is original. There's no original plots. Like Aquaman was pretty much Black Panther underwater. That's what because pretty much that's exactly what it was. So it's like it's never what you do, is how it's done. And I think Aquaman was done pretty well. So even though like I said, it's pretty much Black Panther underwater, I still think it's a good movie. You know what I'm saying? It's not what you do, is how it's done.
So overall, DC or Marvel?
That's not even close. That's actually really unfair to even put DC in this same sentence with Marvel as far as movies.
Well, so is Marvel who you going with?
What?
As far as filmmaking?
Oh, Marvel. Yeah, Marvel. Absolutely.
Yeah.
DC got a lot of work to do.
Now, as far as comics, DC got it.
Yeah, I can their characters.
They got it.
Their characters are really good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Spider-Man, I mean not Spider-Man, but Superman can do anything.
Hell, their TV show is better than their movies.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know why. Yeah, that is a very weird concept.
Arrow?
Yeah, Arrow is cool.
It's really good.
Really good. So is DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow.
Black Lightning.
Flash was cool.
Doom Patrol is really good.
Hold on, what you thought about Suicide Squad and that they're placing Will Smith with Idris?
I'm cool with it. And I thought Suicide Squad was okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I thought it was the best DC movie that they dropped.
I thought
since The Dark Knight.
Suicide Squad was better than Justice League. To me.
I mean, I agree, but that's not really saying much.
It's really, it don't speak no real volumes, but as we said before, movies ain't DC's strong point.
Right.
It's just not TV shows and comics. Okay, that's another thing.
I don't know, and I don't know what it takes to get it together. maybe they need to sell it to a bigger company who can, you know, do more.
Well, right now Warner Brothers is running the show for their films.
Maybe that's the problem.
That side is Warner Brothers. You know,
Well,
is that like being in a tube working with Warner Brothers? You know?
I mean, because Disney took over Marvel, and we thought, oh god, here comes Disney, and
it actually hasn't been bad.
it's been amazing. Disney has
Now that whole X-Men fiasco, trying to figure out how they're going to fit into the whole scope, that's been bullshit.
I mean,
Like,
that's
you know
because
what I'm saying?
FX
Right,
or Fox
right,
still
right,
owns
right.
rights, so it's
Right.
like you can only do so much. Like you can get Deadpool, like Marvel, Disney is behind Deadpool, and Deadpool can get a couple X-Men characters like that, you know what I'm saying? But you can't. You can only do so much through legalities. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
But overall, I still think it's a dope thing that Marvel got going on. Even the fact that, you know,
So it's definitely a worth to go see.
yes, man.
So take the kids to go see Captain Marvel.
And this is one of those rare movies where you get to see Samuel L. Jackson actually showcase his range as an actor. He's actually a pretty good actor.
Okay.
Right.
So we get to see some Nick Fury in actual action.
Right. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Rookie on the job.
All right. Let's discuss the NCAA standings.
Okay. Who was number one? Gonzaga?
For the East, it's Vermont.
Hold on. They got the brackets already?
Right now, for the Conference for America's East, Vermont is 14-2.
That's the NC. Hold on. No. Yeah, you got to pull up the NCAA. That's not the whole league. That's just one division.
Well, I got it. It's broken it down.
Yeah, that ain't gonna help us.
Okay.
Go. Is that standings? Rankings is where you want to be at.
Ranking. Okay.
Gonzaga.
Yeah,
number
Gonzaga is number one. Gonzaga 30-3. Give me your take.
Gonzaga's really good. They beat Duke early in the year, beat them by 1 point, but it was a really good game. Next is Virginia. I think Virginia's too high. I think Duke can beat Virginia. UNC. I think they're a really good team. I like that guy White with the hair. He's really good. I'm not sure if he can come out, but he's really good. And then I believe Duke is at number 4.
Yep.
Or is it Kentucky number 4?
Kentucky's number 4. Duke's number 5.
Yeah, Kentucky shouldn't be number 4. Duke is clearly a better team than Kentucky, but with my man missing 5 games, well 6 essentially because he only played 30 seconds in that game, the first game against North Carolina. They end up losing to North Carolina twice when he was gone. The first game back that they played with him, they lost to Syracuse when he was gone. They beat Syracuse when he came back. They blew out Syracuse when they came back. They had lost twice to North Carolina, one game by like 20, 25 points, and he comes back. You know, he comes back. They beat not Virginia. They beat North Carolina. Tight game, but they still won. He's that big of a difference maker. Like he's that good. Tonight they playing Florida State. Duke is playing Florida State,
Which they will get their ass whooped.
who Duke?
Yeah, damn real.
I don't think so.
Because Florida State beat Virginia.
But they beat FSU already.
Florida State gonna take Duke. I think Florida State got it. I got the confidence in them.
I mean,
Florida State right now they're in the top 40. They're number 13.
They're number 13.
Yeah.
Right. Like I get what you're saying,
I think they got a shot.
but Duke is better. Duke is
more talented. Yes, they are.
Duke is, and this is a really big game for Duke because, you know, not that they're on the bubble or anything, but this just when you win the tournament, you're cemented in, you're cemented a spot in the NCAA in the playoff.
I think Florida State has the ability to beat Duke. like I said, Duke is the more talented team, but I think Florida State got the bigger heart. They got some seniors that have some real strong talent. You know, they have the ability to really get some drive going and really put forth an effort to get there.
Honestly, I believe that's why the first game was so close, because guys be more experienced and they know how to play the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was one of Duke's problems. Is like, yes, they're talented individually, but learning how to play the game of basketball as a collective group is a very difficult thing to teach. And even for a guy like Coach K, when you have three real, like, you know what I'm saying, 3 of the top 20, no, it's 4 of the top 20, 3 of the top 10, you know, guys on your freshmen that you recruited. And the one thing it's a good thing and it's a bad thing about this is 2019, none of these kids are returning next year, right? Like, we got to see the Fab Five because guys stayed in the NCAA back then. Now that doesn't happen anymore. So there's these guys. They could be as good as a Fab Five, but they're not gonna stay another year. They're too good. It's really literally wasting money. Like not figuratively, but literally, by playing another year of college basketball.
Which comes into question: should college athletes get paid?
Why not? The NCAA is a nonprofit organization that makes billions of dollars. You can't explain to me why they can't get nothing. I mean, you say, well, the students, they get free tuition, free room and board, which is all nice and good, but if they didn't come to the school, right? Let's say that these NBA players, I'm sorry, not NBA players. Let's say the NCAA basketball players and men players, right? Let's say all of them didn't come to the school, right? That's only 100 people that y'all lose. At a school that has about 80,000 people. You got classes with 80 people in it, right? So think about, you got classes with more than 80 people in it. You know what I'm saying? So like, a lot of these seats already open. Saying, a lot of these foods y'all throw away anyway at the end of the night. A lot of these rooms were available anyway. So it's not like you're really sacrificing by letting them come sit in. See, letting somebody come sit in your school for free really don't cost you no money. Because it's not like, how many colleges are really at capacity? Right? Not many. They'll turn down people, and then, because they have, colleges have their requirements. So it's rare that it's at capacity because you turn down a lot of people. It's rare that you turn down people because you simply have too many students. That never happens. Not in college.
There's a thing in college where you work based in your profession or major, and basically what you do, you give tutoring and give assets of your knowledge and attribute along with your grades and your performance as far as your GPA, and it's called work study, and you get paid a certain amount of money to do this in retrospect with the school as far as what you do in exchange with your time and your man hours, and the school coordinates with you to use your skill set to help other students as far as what they need. You can be helped within the tutoring era or measurement of how the school does its regimen as far as how it helps, or you can work in the bookstore or work in the school library.
Right.
It's many assets of what you can do.
Right.
Why can't we attribute this same thing with guys in sports, with the athletic department?
That's actually a brilliant observation.
Why can't some of these guys go to some of these local high schools and give a hand with physical education as far as PE and things of that nature, and sports affiliations as far as team up with local schools and local branches that are connected to these colleges that they're always trying to get kids to come to anyway? Let's discuss that.
I mean,
in that aspect.
Let's discuss why they're not doing it.
For a brief second.
I have no clue. Clue.
It would make more sense. You ain't paying them for nothing. They doing something.
Right. I mean, but from my understanding, they're not supposed to have jobs.
Yeah.
It's like they really put the college athlete in a tough spot, right? Because most college athletes don't go pro. Most of them don't go pro. We can keep that in mind.
No, they don't.
Most of them go on to have regular lives, get jobs, have kids, get married, and and work for someone, or try to become an entrepreneur. Wherever life leads them. But so I don't understand what would be so wrong if a kid in school got a $25,000 kickback, right?
Yeah.
What's so wrong about that?
What is wrong with that? That's true.
I mean, only thing is you're like, well, more kids gonna come to Texas because Texas can pay them more, or they want to come to Duke because Duke can pay them more. Like, if you put a flat number across the board, then you wouldn't be worried about that either. I don't think college kids should be making salary like, oh, I'm Zion, so I should be getting this much, or I'm Cam Reddish, so I should be getting I don't think that.
A work study,
right?
Like anybody else,
right?
A work study.
I mean, because they're them showing up to these games, right? The fact that they show up to the game, they generate the schools millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. Millions of dollars every year. Mm-hmm. Millions of dollars in TV deals. You know what I'm saying? Millions of dollars in these shoe contracts. Right? And just saying. Like, the kids can't get none of that. They can't get the TV money. You know what I mean? Mm. They can't get none of they don't get none of the ticket money, none of the merchandise money, none of the TV money, nothing. None of the shoe money, nothing. The Gatorade money that y'all get, they can't get none of that. Come on.
Nothing.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. The money that they bring in is worth more than the scholarship that y'all give them. You know what I'm saying?
The write-offs, yes. I mean, it's just amazing. But in that aspect, we have to understand how greedy this organization is. Okay?
It's supposed to be a non-profit.
I mean, it's what it is. Let's not go there with who's supposed to be non-profit. That's a label. That's a label that they give motherfuckers that they just who don't want to pay taxes.
Because the NFL, like I said, the NFL was non-profit for a long time.
So as we look at this, we look at these organizations. We need to look at their contribution community-wise, if we're looking at what they're doing as far as these players go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they are what they are, and whether they're going to change or adjust the system as far as these players and athletes go, we never know. But we're voicing our opinion, so hopefully one day they will.
Yeah, I have you haven't met my cousin. He's been on the show a couple times. Up there, he's in Ohio University playing D1 right now.
Mm-hmm. Strong safety.
Yeah. Bad boy, but there's no compensation for him. If he get hurt tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? He gonna graduate, so he has his degree to fall back on. But let's say, and God forbid this to happen, but let's say he hurt himself, can't play in the NFL. It's not a lot of jobs that pay like the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And then you got no compensation whatsoever.
No, there isn't. There isn't any jobs to play like, but players are getting a lot more smarter and economically sound. They're understanding their situation. there's other players who have other business things going on that they've had since college, like guys like Antonio Brown and Odell Beckham, who had small businesses going for themselves before they came in the league, just in case things didn't follow through as they wanted them.
Question:
If you're
an entrepreneur, does that count as having a job when you're in NCAA? Because they'll say you're using their platform to sell your stuff, sell your merchandise.
Well,
I don't know if you can do that.
And this is the thing, these guys sold their stuff online with their own Facebook accounts. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, naturally they may have had a jersey on, or they may have had whatever, but they didn't use school appropriated products to try to promote this. So with that being said, you can't really say a whole hell of a lot about it.
One thing I am questionable about, right? Let's say
you gotta eat. Point blank period. You gotta eat.
You do. Let's say you one of the people who has a skill, like you know how to cut hair. You cutting hair. Are you going to get in trouble for that?
I mean,
I don't know who.
You shouldn't, but you know, we don't make the rules.
We don't know. Remember, Des Bryant got in trouble because he lied to the NCAA because he thought he had to lie because he went to dinner with Deion Sanders and thought he was going to get in trouble for it. So he lied about having the dinner. Deion Sanders was like, "Yeah, we had dinner." So you know, they ended up suspending him in the NCAA because he lied and he didn't have to. But the fact is, like, the NCAA be strict about stupid shit, really.
Yeah, but it is what it is with the organization. Hopefully, as things progress and get better, we'll see the change that we want. On a darker note, as we started off with the mosque shooting in New Zealand, where do we begin?
We are currently at totality of 50 deaths right now. From my understanding, it was a white supremacist, and he posted about it on Facebook. Did he do it prior to and during? Or
yes, he did. A man by the name of Brenton Harris Tarrant.
I wouldn't even have said his name, because that's why he did it. He wants to live in infamy. Nah, may you die a slow death, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have mentioned his name online, but yeah, this man, 28 years old, has been charged with a terrorist act in Christchurch, New Zealand. The first attack occurred at Linwood Mosque, 7 died, and then Al Noor Mosque, 42 dead, close to Hagley Park on Cathedral Square, approximately 15 to 20 miles from each other. The police on Sunday said the death toll has struck a nerve within the community. As of last night, we were able to take all of the victims from both of these scenes. In doing so, we have located a further victim. And Mike Bush, New Zealand's police commissioner. Mr. Bush said at least a list of victims' names has been compiled with the help of senior religious leaders and had been shared with family members. He said the list was an informal one, though, and officials would not confirm the names publicly until the bodies had been formally identified. The bodies have not yet been released to the victims' families, but Mr. Bush said he was conscious that Muslim religious practice requires prompt burial. We are aware of the cultural and religious needs, so we are doing that as quickly and sensitively as possible, he said. Give me your take.
What do you say about somebody like that, man?
We, as a Muslim, alhamdulillah, I pray that my brothers and sisters who believe, who lost their lives, find paradise and find a new life and forgiven of their sins. Understanding white supremacy and nationalism, you have to understand this. It's an ideology that comes through the fear inside of a white man's world when he looks at his world and all of a sudden becomes so small. It starts off with his daughter dating a black guy. It starts off with him losing his job through promotion from a man or woman of color. It starts off with him not feeling though he's as valued as much in that aspect in life, with all of a sudden, with his wife doing her own thing and moving on in her life and not really showing much enjoyment and involvement in his life. And he starts to question things from a perspective. Not enough success, too much failure. And in retrospect of looking at minorities and black men, seeing them as his problem. Or seeing other religious groups as his problem, such as Islam and Muslims. 9/11 was the precursor that set the ball rolling for all of this anti-Islamic rhetoric we've seen for the past, I don't know, going on a little over
2 years now.
15 years.
Oh, who started? Who you said started it?
19, like 18 and 19.
You talking about 9/11 started?
Yeah.
No. It's been 19 years. Yeah.
It's been going on for a very, very long time. We need to stop equating Islam with any type of terrorism and
You
radicalism.
have to stop that.
We have to stop.
You know, and one of the white people go to, because they've never read the Book of Quran, but they, you know,
And they never will.
they would.
They never
And
will.
one of the things they'll say is, Book of Quran says kill the infidel, and it says, what's the other line they go to? It says convert or die, and I'm like, okay, but in what context does it say that? Did you actually read it? Do you know what they're saying? Do you actually know any Muslims, or are you just going off what Fox News told you?
They are speaking in terms of events that occurred in the region when the Prophet, peace be unto him, was at war with those in the region. Okay?
Right. So if
That's
you're-
the terms he's speaking of. When events happened when he was attacked that are taken into context. Now see, this is what a lot of people don't get in regards to the whole concept of white supremacy and these nationalists. These guys take these things and run with it, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that I could take from the Bible and the Tanakh and I can run with.
Heck yeah.
You know, now I don't take into account these white dudes who snatch people out their homes and string them up from trees and burn crosses in front of your yard, even though they call themselves Christians. I don't take it to the point. I don't associate them with Christianity.
Right.
I just can't do it. I don't think that's very Christ-like to string some dude up to a tree and gang rape his wife right before the life leaves his body as he hangs from an oak tree. You know, I don't think that that's Christ-like. I might be wrong.
But you know,
I might be wrong.
I also don't think it's Christ-like to sit up there and have a photo op with the man I just hung.
Yeah, posing, you know what I'm saying, with a Kool-Aid smile on my face.
Right.
You know, no, I don't think that's very Christ-like, okay? So definitely it's not Mohammedan or Islamic to go into a crowded room with a bomb strapped to you and ignite it and blow yourself up just to prove a point. You didn't do that for Allah, you did that, brother, for yourself. Okay?
Right.
And this is what the coming to understanding what we're doing with terrorism and people who are afraid of ideas, when ideas squeeze triggers. Let's address that.
Well, say that again for me.
When ideas squeeze triggers.
Well, D.L. Hughley famously says the most dangerous place for a black man to be is in a white man's imagination.
That is powerful. Touche.
And because the problem is ignorance. Like I talked about Daryl Davis. You remember I showed you when he was in that picture next to the Klansman and the Grand Dragon, and had eventually over time he became best friends with the Grand Dragon, got him to leave the Klan. And the reason that the Grand Dragon hated black people is simply because, well, that's what I was taught. That's what I know. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff that your parents teach you is more powerful than what you can learn at any school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
Like 90% of people choose their political party based off what their parents were.
That is true.
Yes, I know. I literally watched a video about civics, and that was one of the things they were saying. Now, but what was the question at hand?
when ideas squeeze triggers.
Oh yeah, okay.
How do we
Yeah.
understand
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mind of people who've gotten to that point?
Like I said, that's why I was going with it. Yes, it's ignorance. At the end of it, it's all ignorance because you don't understand, you don't know, you don't get it. It's like, oh well, one of those niggers killed my aunt. Yeah, one of them. So you go shoot up a school, a black school or a black church because one black man did something to your aunt? No, go find him. Like, when does that make sense?
President Trump made the statement that he is repulsed and disgusted by this act of terroristic violence, saying this statement: do not harm yourself or alarm yourself in trying to compare this situation with nationalism in the United States. This is not nationalism. Quote unquote, this is terrorism. And this is not America, and this is not our way. That's in New Zealand.
Okay, I didn't read that one.
That's one of the quotes.
But you read that to me when we was off air.
Right.
But the one I just read, I read, he said, my warmest sympathy and wishes go out to the people of New Zealand after a horrible massacre in the mosque. 49 innocent people have so senselessly died. So with so many more seriously injured. The U.S. stands by New Zealand for anything we can do. God bless all. That's one of the things he says that's actually presidential, but then he turns around and is like, I can't help but spew my ignorance and my rhetoric.
And I get why he said that's not America. There's a lot of already some tweets that have gone up in regards to some nationalists that have spoken out about the mosque incident and have said, I ain't gonna say that, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. Some of them support what happened. Okay? Some of these guys who call themselves white nationalists, some of these guys who call themselves white supremacists or whatever the ideal is, have said it's cool as far as what happened. It's about time somebody stepped up and did something. Some of them said that. Okay?
Right.
Have actually co-signed this ignorance and this violence. Now, whether or not social media is taking the proper methodology to get them offline talking this bullshit, I don't know. Okay? But it is coming.
No, don't take them off. Let them expose who they are. Let us see who they are. I have no problem knowing that you don't like me. I don't like when you smile in my face.
Okay,
like
yeah, no, this is true.
Right? Like, show yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, announce yourself. Let me see who you are.
Now, I get why Trump is trying to protect white nationalism. That is a large group that pretty much put him in power.
Strong backing from that.
Yeah, I mean, so, and I get where he's coming from with that. He doesn't want us to equate that type of rhetoric and idea with violence.
Keep in mind,
You know what I'm saying?
he's the one who says, you know, this is becoming unpopular to say, but hey, I'm a nationalist. And let me give you what a nationalist actually is.
Okay, I'm ready to hear this.
A nationalist is someone who stands by their nation, even with its flaws. Like someone who, no matter even if they pass the bill to start slaughtering babies if they got moles on their forehead. If they pass the law like that, like you be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stand by my country. I'm a nationalist. That's what a nationalist is. Someone who blindly follows. A patriot is someone who loves their country, supports their country, and able to point out flaws in their country to help improve it. See what I'm saying?
There's a specific difference between the two.
Right.
Yes.
But
yeah,
y'all nationalists. Y'all be that.
Ethiopian Airlines 737 MAX 8 crashed 10th March of 2019. 157 killed.
That was a Nigerian plane, right?
Ethiopian.
Oh, Ethiopian plane?
Ethiopian.
Okay.
Not Nigeria, Ethiopia.
I'm sorry.
No problem. What's your take on it?
Sad.
Sad, horrible, man. So horrible.
Damn.
My heart, man. I mean, once again, may Allah forgive them forgiveness of their sins and grant them paradise.
Man, that is. I mean, that's tough. Nobody survived.
Nobody survived.
God damn.
You know.
Like,
And we look at life. Life definitely teaches us how small we are in the framework as far as the system, and how the cycle of life continues.
you know what?
I mean,
It's funny you say that because I remember reading a quote from Maya Angelou. She says, "No matter how important you become, you'll never be more important than the ocean."
yeah.
And what it's saying is, like, in the microcosm, like, we're all small, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and we kind of just get so caught up on, you know, political stuff and advancing money that you gotta understand, like, you still can't forget to be human, because at the end of the day, that's what separates us from being just another animal. But I ain't here to preach.
Yeah, I look at the situation, and they're saying a lot of people are afraid to fly now, and they're investigating it and trying to determine what exactly the information can gather from the black box.
No. It was Ethiopians that happened to, but it was the Nigerian airline, wasn't it?
Yes,
Okay, that's why I got
that's
that
what
from.
you get.
Okay,
It from. But this the issue with it is people who are afraid to fly in regards to the whole flight now, the whole scope of it.
I mean,
You know, and it's like, which, because we have to understand from the point of view, many Africans, from what I've spoken to and have read on posts in the social media, they really don't like flying anyway.
right.
They really don't. And it's like, how does this help their situation with something that they really can't afford to do, many of them, and really don't like to do, many of them?
Well, statistically, it is the safest way to travel.
Statistically, yeah, that's what they say. You got more chance of getting struck by lightning and all that shit.
Right. The only thing is when it goes bad, it's 157 people killed, no survivors. Bad.
Yeah, it don't bullshit around.
Right.
It mashes the gas. It really.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so having a car crash and a plane crash, you be like, yeah, well, I'll take my chances with the car, right? Mm-hmm. But more people die in car crashes every year.
Mm-hmm. As we said, our prayers go out to Ethiopia and their loss. Donald Trump and his arguments against his opposition. He has made the craziest statements that he can make as a political leader, as far as what I can think of.
Okay, what did he say? What did he say?
Donald Trump made this statement as in response to some of his opponents who made some statements in regards to his policies, him, and the civil suit that the states have against him, trying to push the tax appropriation and the bill to pass through veto for the building of a wall in the U.S.
That is
border.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, he made a statement that what is it that exactly they want me to do? They keep trying to make false accusations and throw slurs and say derogatory things just to stir up things through the fake press. Do I have to get friends of mine to have to speak out and us unify together in hostility to let them know how we feel? I got many people supporting me. I have the Bikers for Trump. I have the police. I have the military. I have the National Guard. Who do they have? When you sit up there and make accusations and try to legalize dope and prostitution and all these other things that demoralize people, where do your morals really stand? And look at me and look at yourself. Notice he left out the FBI when he mentioned that. Who all got his back? But go ahead. Go ahead. He was talking all that shit. But yeah.
I mean, when he says legalizing, you the one who decided I'm going to run for the highest position in the government. That was you. You knew the scrutiny that came along with it. You knew you had dirty laundry. You knew you was in bed with the Russians. Your wife is a Russian. You're literally in bed with the Russians.
Literally in bed with the Russians.
You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
Like, come on. Like, you trying to make it about everybody else. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Like when you're lying on your taxes. Like you that ain't us. You know, and even if I mean it is some of us out here lying on our taxes. And guess what? we ain't running for president because we trying to get away with it. you asking to be investigated when you become president. And then
asking to be investigated.
And then when you talk the way you talk, you blowing smoke the way you blowing smoke, people gonna come check and see if it's a fire.
Yeah.
That's just what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, because I know you want to get into this more.
I mean, he okay. You got all these people on your side, these acronym groups who represents these departments. But here's the thing, they're backing you because
they don't have no choice.
They have no choice. The badges that they carry and the oath that they are taking, and you are the commander-in-chief. A lot of say commander and thief. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But this is what you're this is what you're being called. I mean, but it's what it is. So they have to submit to the rank and the authority that's over them.
Right.
Okay? Right. Don't get it twisted, President Trump. Don't get it misconstrued that these people are following you because
they respect.
Yeah, it's you the leader of some sort of out, and that's what I think he think. He think he done got like made into some outlaw gang or something or some sort of. You seen the Black Panther? You ain't John Gotti, man. Okay, you ain't.
Wait, hold on. You seen Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
And you seen when they thought T'Challa had died.
Correct.
And Killmonger had just went through the ritual of becoming the Black Panther. And the girl of Black Panther, the girl he loved, and the little bald head chick, they was having a conversation. Like, come on, let's go. And bald head chick, she was like, I can't go. I'm not like you. I serve the throne. It don't matter who's sitting in it. I serve the throne. That's how the military is. It don't matter who's in that presidential seat.
Exactly.
They got to follow.
Prime example. Good example, brother. Yeah.
Like, if you don't understand, that's what it is. They serve that position no matter who's sitting in it. It's not because, we fought with Donald Trump heavy. I know cats in the military who are currently serving. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, man, that nigga on some bullshit, man. He finna have us do X, Y, and Z. This motherfucker's stupid, cause I can't. But they know they gotta do it anyway.
As I said before, notice he left the FBI alone out of his box.
Cause they don't follow.
they don't fuck with his ass. They trying to throw his ass in jail. I mean, but go ahead.
They don't march to the sound of his drum.
Hell no, they do their job.
He doesn't like that.
They do their job, you know?
You know what I'm saying? It was, before with Jeff Sessions, who was it? Was it Comey? It's like it's always, because it's the one people he can't control. He thought appointing Jeff Sessions he'll have some control, but that's not what happened. And the funny thing is, Jeff Sessions is kind of a racist. If the racists don't like you, what does that say? Mm-hmm. When the other racists don't like you, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of mess.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Getting to the whole thing as far as looking at some things with the State Department. It's ending the tourist visa for the Cubans. For that whole push for not a U.S. citizen thing. Okay. Which there's been a lot of complaints through the trade market that because of that, things that we import that we have started through the trade through South America and Cuba and different countries, this may do a spike in trade things that we have up with the denial of these visas.
So we're denying Cubans into the United States?
State Department ends 5-year tourist visas for certain Cubans who are under suspicion of certain criminal activity.
It ends?
Ends.
So they're allowed in the United States?
They're not allowed in the United States.
They're no longer allowed in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They work
visas.
They deny them.
Okay. Well, a lot of these Cubans just be, a lot of these Cubans are hustlers though, man. That's one thing you gotta admit. These Cubans, they be hustlers, man. They be trying to get to the bag. A lot of them in the drug game, and that's probably why he taking some of them out, cause a lot of them are connected to to drugs, but the Cuban people from my personal experience, they be hustlers, entrepreneurs, trying to, you know what I'm saying. So it's interesting. I mean, I guess you said that you think that's gonna make the trade spike.
Well, you gotta understand, we're trying to get some levies on embargoes for Cuban products. We're trying to get rotations done where we're trying to get some of their alcohol and tobacco over here. This is gonna mess some of that up. And if it does happen next year for the trade agreement,
so they gonna tax us,
right?
Okay, I guess
you get what I'm saying, man. It's gonna change some things.
Okay.
You know,
I ain't mad at that though, man. I mean, that's the cost of doing business. You want these foreigners out of here, then hey, there's gonna be a price to pay. You know that. You know that. My question is, how do you pick up, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Start friction from an already convoluted situation between America and Cuba, and we just like kind of got back. No, I wouldn't even say back, but you know, like we
semi cool with it.
Yeah, like Obama just went there. Mm-hmm. It was the first president since 1959.
Thank you.
To visit there, and like we've been in a little spat with Cuba since JFK. Like that's a long fucking time. Like, and we just started to get things right, and now he's already started reversing some of the, like Donald Trump has already started reversing some of the stuff that Obama put into place, and now we're trying to like get a trade. You know, like you were saying that you said this to me, like having a mutually beneficial trade with Cuba would do a lot of good here in the United States. You want to talk? You kind of want to hop on that?
Yes, it would. Cuba has a great deal of tobacco and alcohol products and medicinal products, as far as like how they treat stomach cancer and things, as far as certain viruses like smallpox and things of that nature, which could be beneficial not only to our healthcare system but our economic, morale, welfare, and recreational system as well. But with tensions like this, with them denying the visas as far as this 5-year contract that we negotiated for, this could place us back into some rough terms with them again. You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely.
This could put us, you talking about something that can create infrastructure and jobs with warehouses, with logistics. You know what I'm saying? That could expand our GDP even more. You know, let's discuss that. But we're not in the correct sympathetic leadership bounds for somebody who's going to cooperate and compromise and talk.
Absolutely
civil,
not.
Talk civil.
Yeah.
We're just not. We're just not. So this may not be the presidency we get into clear grounds of being in respect with Cuba right now.
But that's one of like we've talked a lot about what Obama didn't do. One of the things he was really good at,
diplomacy. Foreign diplomacy.
Yes.
Foreign diplomacy. He was
excellent.
He was excellent at it. He was.
That was his strong point.
That was his strong point.
Like I said, first U.S. president to come to Cuba since '59. Like, I don't think people understand how significant.
Understand Fidel Castro is dead.
Right.
Okay, so what's our excuse for not working better with these people now?
And he met with what's his name? His name Castro too. That Obama met with. He's
Fidel Castro's brother.
Yeah, his brother. What was 2008? He went over there. Mm-hmm. Man, that's crazy. Mm-hmm.
U.S. Treasury moved to sanction Russians and several defense entities in connection with seizing a Ukrainian vessel without any proper registration or logistics or cause.
Well, but they've been in cahoots with the U.S. With the Soviet Union for how long now?
They're no longer the Soviet Union. The Commonwealth of Independent States. They gave up their communist ties. they say they're democratic, but how the fuck can you be when you've had the same president for over 20 years? But I mean, not 20, I'm exaggerating, but quite a long time Putin's been president. I mean,
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying? Since you've been in school, he's been president, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah.
This occurred off the Kura Strait in November. Let's stop bullshitting one another. The United States is still in a cold war with the Russians. Just like in the 80s. We in a secret, classified, makeshift, black op war with these people. Can we admit that?
I mean, who's denying it?
I mean, can we admit it, man? We do not get along with these damn people, man. Can we stop pulling dick? Can we stop? I mean, we do not get along with these damn people. I wish we did. I thought we did, but I thought like Lent. You know, as my grandmother used to say. I mean, he thought like Lent. He thought you had to fart. Had this shit. Had this shit, bro. I mean, for real. Go ahead, give me your take.
I done been lit before, okay?
Mm-hmm. They are at war with Ukraine, regardless if they want to admit it or not.
How can I say this? Putin is...
How do you even begin to talk about this dude?
Right. I mean, he's been ruling with an iron fist.
Iron suit, Iron Man suit.
Right. He literally, like, he has his neck over people, and he controls the media. So
he gives them latitude and freedom somewhat. I can't.
Those people, they don't give, they're not allowed, I don't think they're allowed on the internet. They killed the man for what he posted on the internet. Like, there's not a real freedom there.
A guy was executed because he allegedly was supporting a criminal organization that was conspiring against Putin.
You see?
We don't know the full context of how their laws work. I mean, I ain't know. I've only been there. Off the borders of there. I mean, I don't really know much about it,
man.
But they very. When we look at their system and look at ours, there's no comparison. But they definitely need some lessons in liberty. You know,
if you want to even call it that. Like I said, man, he how long he been a dictator for about what? It's really been like 16 years.
But they call themselves a democracy now. Wrap your mind around that. The same man has been president for how long?
How you gonna run against him though? How you gonna run against him?
I mean,
you don't get whacked if you run against him.
Especially if you got anything that's legible to say that may stand a chance of beating.
And they only have, and honestly, I think they have an election once every 10 years, I believe. Ain't it once every 10 years?
I gotta look into it when their elections are.
Yeah,
not that it really matter, because you ain't gonna win, whoever the hell you is.
You gotta be a bold SOB to even say, I'm gonna run
against goddamn Vladimir Putin.
Alright, go ahead, run.
Former head and chief of the KGB, Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Alright. Touche, nigga.
Caesar Soyak, I'm gonna let you tackle him. I'm gonna let you get done.
Okay. This is actually from last year. But he's being sentenced from my understanding, right?
He's being charged, the charge. He's pleading not guilty. That's what they're discussing.
I thought he was pleading guilty.
He going back and forth. Yesterday he said, last week he
headline said he was gonna plead guilty.
Now he's saying not guilty. But what you
trying to figure out if I'm gonna plead guilty or not guilty, that means you did it.
Let's be honest. He gonna have to tell the state something, goddamn.
If you trying to figure out if I'm gonna plead guilty or not guilty, we know you did it. If you can't decide whether or not you're guilty or innocent, I mean, that says enough. But this man, and this is one thing I find funny, right? We have a gentleman who works with us, older white man, and is probably in his 50s, right?
Yeah.
And we talk to him about politics all the time. And my opinion, I like him. I think he's a good guy. And he's
talking about Jimmy, right?
Yeah. Jimmy. And he says all the time,
conservative.
Yeah, he says all the time. But I was up until 2008. or 2012, I was a Democrat, and now I'm Republican. People saying, "Oh no." They put Caesar Soyak, the Democrats put Caesar Soyak there because Caesar Soyak was a Democrat his whole life, and then all of a sudden he's a Republican and now he's just sending bombs. Yes. People will be Democrats their whole lives, then change over to Republicans. Yes, it happens. Why is that so crazy when it make you think it's a conspiracy? Dude, he was sending bombs to people. He is going to jail for real. This is not a conspiracy. Like, everything is not a fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
a clandestine plan to undermine whatever the hell it is you done cooked up in your brain to think that it threatens your power if you're white. Okay,
let's get it straight. And I want to say this stuff out there, because people on this, like just an example, R. Kelly, right? Oh man, it's the white man trying to. He fuck people on video.
Underage.
That ain't got nothing to do with the white man.
Underage.
He is on camera talking about something. I want that 14-year-old vagina.
Did I say underage?
I mean, that's not the white man. That's not. There is no conspiracy for a fool. And it's the same thing with Caesar Soyak. Like, he was trying to hurt people because he disagreed with them. Essentially because he disagreed with their politics. He wanted to end their lives because he disagreed with the politics. And they want to believe that, oh no, it couldn't have been one of our people. Come on, man. Conservatives are the most dangerous people in the world. Conservative white people are the most dangerous people in the world. And let me be specific. Conservative white men.
Yeah.
Most dangerous people in the world. You can coin that. Okay? If you're looking for your next mass shooting, probably going to be a conservative white male.
Who's pissed off about something.
Mexican took his job, took his contract.
White girl got the BBC. Man, you name it, man. You name it for them to flip and go. I don't take much for them to rattle their cage.
And in Dylan Roof's journal, it said he was going to do the shooting. He was going to shoot the people because he said he had to do something. The niggers were taking over. It was too many of them. But here's a little thing where I kind of agree. Not necessarily taking over per se, but we keep growing. As much as you try to knock us out, take us out, we keep growing. Kind of reminds me of the people in Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like it said, the more they were inflicted, the more they grew. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about the ADOS nation.
Yeah.
Here in America. Like,
yeah.
The more you inflict us, the more we grew.
The more we grew and learned. You know?
So
point blank period. You know? I look at Caesar Soyak, a Florida resident. That's how this relates, by the way, for those of you who are listening. I look at him and I say, when the prosecutors and lawyers made the statement that they made on Friday with a conference they held with the U.S. District Judge Jed Rakoff, a new court docket entry disclosed that a pre-trial hearing scheduled for March 21st is now a plea session for him. Okay? So it's like they're trying to work with this dude. Okay, you going to prison. Okay, you going to prison. We don't give a damn what you got to say. Now, the right has made some statements to say that this dude is some sort of plant. Right?
Right.
That's what they're trying to suggest.
Yeah.
But every investigation from the FBI counterterrorism unit says, no, this dude is for real. We reading his posts, we're reading his following. Oh, because by the way, this guy has a slight following, a group of men like him who share these ideas. Remember what we told you, black men in America. There is a group gathering together, preparing to make things the way they used to be. Haven't you heard the whole statement, "Make America Great Again"? Oh, okay.
what's his name? Goodlow Sutton wrote an article that the KKK should write again. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but we talked about it on one of the prior podcasts. And yes, yes, I think they're open. All right. That's why I wasn't mad at Liam Neeson for saying his comments.
Nah, I just thought he was stupid. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was stupid, but it was honest.
It was honest.
Like, you never felt like once he was lying to you or giving you no bullshit. I believed every word he said.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, how many people feel that way and ain't honest enough to tell you that, hey, I went through that?
Yeah.
And a lot of them, like Liam Neeson said, it lasted about a week. He realized it was foolish and he stopped doing it. How many people don't stop? How many people just adopt the ideology completely?
I mean, yes. And in that understanding that we look at guys like Dylan Roof, we look at guys like that psychopath in Las Vegas that everybody keeps forgetting back in November 3.5 years ago, right after the election.
The one that they described as a music lover?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how they describe this motherfucker, dog, who shot and killed people at a country music concert from a goddamn apartment complex. Well, not an apartment, but a hotel with a silencer. You know what I'm saying? With a firearm and all this. I mean, with the wording when they catch these white guys in these situations, when they go ape shit like this, is almost a slap in the face in comparison of how they speak in towards black people.
Almost. You know, it's a direct slap.
It's a direct slap in the damn
and it's
face.
on purpose.
It's on purpose. You know, it really bothers me. You know, it really do. It really do.
I mean, you got to think. Like I just said earlier, Richard Sherman is called a thug.
Right.
You know about media. He's called a thug.
A thug
because he voices his own opinion, or because he'll tell you about such and such. You know, we'll villainize guys like, let's say, Terrell Owens, right? Talking about how terrible of a person he was. But then I'm watching a documentary about Ted Bundy, and they're talking about how likable and charismatic he is. If you don't understand privilege, look no further. You get what I'm saying? Like, no, you don't understand privilege. Let me break it down to you. Ted Bundy escaped because they didn't have handcuffs on him and he jumped out of a window. He wasn't handcuffed because, oh man, he seems like a nice guy, well behaved.
I mean,
like he wasn't on trial for multiple murders.
The same dude who strangled a 19-year-old sophomore with her pantyhose in her dorm.
That's okay. To their point, that happened after he escaped. To be fair,
excuse me all here. Excuse me all here. My bad. But thank you for correcting me, by the way. Well, you met him. Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate that one. I would have been so confused about the.
If it was a nigga on trial for murdering, I think at the time it was only 6 people that I think they had. You think he would have been? No, matter of fact, it was only 2 people. It was only 2 people at that time. You think they would have just let him walk around without handcuffs?
No.
Oh, he's so charming. He's so nice. What? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Like, only.
But they had the decency to give him the chair.
Yeah. And they gave him the chair simply because he wasn't fully honest with the information. We still don't know how many people he actually killed.
But we still don't know how many women this man has actually killed.
And that's the thing. He was out here killing white women. That's y'all most prized possession.
Yeah.
Most protected. Like, ain't no nigga out here gonna serial kill white women. No nigga ain't gonna do it. Cause we know what happens when you fuck with white women. We know the consequences. Hell yes. Y'all let Ted Bundy escape not once, but twice. My God. If that ain't privilege, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the white woman pretty much is a natural resource for white guys. So, usually.
Y'all, come on, man.
Man.
Didn't y'all kill Emmett Till because y'all thought he whistled at a white girl.
Or whatever the hell he did.
Y'all thought he whistled.
Whatever the hell he did, you know. Mm-hmm.
Y'all thought this motherfucker killed multiple ones. And y'all just, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's so much like me. Yes, white devil. He is so much like you.
You don't want his wrist.
Let me stop.
You don't
I'm joking.
You don't want his wrist to swell up, man. Let him,
Right.
That's uncomfortable. He's not black. He's not black. Come on, don't treat him like that.
What? Come on, guys. What do I look like? A nigger? Loosen up the cuffs a little bit. And speaking of that, a member of the Jeb Stewart EMT was fired because he was on a racist podcast. Woo! And man, some of the language from that show, because I seen a little bit of, I seen a little bit of it, obviously, and one of the statements he was making is like, a nigger's stupider than a retard. That's why you call niggers niggers. You don't call a nigger a retard, you call a nigger a nigger. And it was like, yeah,
wow, that's pretty goddamn ballsy. And that goes along with all these judges and senators and congressmen with this blackface thing.
And then
you want to get on that a little bit.
But I'm saying, they released this. They fired the EMT, the ambulance, hospital. They fired him immediately because they said they didn't want people to worry about whether or not they were going to be treated fairly when they get picked up. And this is what I talked about in another podcast.
Right.
Black women and black men are treated differently when we come to the hospitals. And this is just one example because he was foolish enough to be on podcasts and got caught. See what I'm saying? But how many people aren't on podcasts, aren't displaying it? How many of them are racist without even so much as a Facebook page? You know what I'm saying?
This is correct.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we got to deal with it.
But it goes along, like I said, with these senators, judges, governors, police chiefs, all this stuff with these guys in blackface. Okay? Which, I ain't gonna even go into the names, but you've been hearing about this shit.
Like and
how it correlates, right?
I was listening to this interview with Malcolm X, and Malcolm X was telling the story about a debate that Elijah Muhammad was having with a Klansman. He said they were having a debate. He was having a debate with a Klansman, and he said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was giving it to him. He was winning the debate. Then, all the way up until the Klansman said, "Watch, sooner or later we're not gonna have to wear these masks. We'll have judge robes, police uniforms on." You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was a teacher who had a white supremacist podcast. She got fired. She was encouraging people to become educators so they can ruin the whole learning experience,
the whole diaspora of the even keel for
black children,
for minorities. Mm-hmm.
So we have to keep that in mind. And that's why I feel like, listen, in black communities, the black agenda has to be, we need black police in our communities. Like urban, it ain't but a handful of cities that black people are actually in. You want to find black people, we're in metropolitan areas. In these metropolitan areas, we need to have programs set up so black people can become police officers. You know what I'm saying? We need to be policing us. We need to have more access to join the medical field. You know what I'm saying? More programs to help guide black women and men to the medical field to become doctors and nurses. We need more incentives for blacks to become teachers. You see what I'm saying? Like, we need more black teachers. We need black teachers. We need black doctors. we need black nurses. We need black police. So we need these essential jobs, man, to, you know, so we can, that needs to be part of the reparation thing that they put in place.
Okay.
Did I say this before?
You mentioned slightly, not as much detail as what you did now. This is what I think. I mean, yeah, for the experience in this country for black men and women to be better, there's nothing that would help us more in that aspect. Yes, there is more we couldn't do, but looking at our community and looking at the whole framework of how law enforcement and things of that nature and the system is set up as far as education and all that, we need to make better provisions for ourselves to be more independent than this. We're relying on systems that have failed us throughout the years over and over and over again. And one of the things I admired about Elijah Muhammad, he said this: why do you think the United States did away with militias? Because certain states had the ability to police and govern themselves with their own law enforcement, with their own tax dollars that they controlled. Mm-hmm. Once the police department came into play, theft and provision of that with slaves, cattle, property, and so forth, everything changed. Then tax money got appropriated to an organization that then dispensed out justice as it felt. How does that sound? Think about that statement. And we look at that now, and a person may argue, no, that's not true. But look at the indictments that we see with the shootings. There was 19 shootings in Jacksonville last year with the police that are still being investigated. Mm-hmm. Why? Why, if they were so clean and the police were doing their job 100%, why are they being investigated still? You know, and we have to look at this also with the police in Chicago. They just passed a law in Illinois, you can no longer record a police officer.
Yeah, you can no longer record a police officer without his authorization.
Mm-hmm. So we look at states like, or cities like Camden, New Jersey.
And let's be honest, Chicago PD has a sketchy history.
Right. We look at states like Camden, New Jersey, who are basically under martial law on everything except for the wording and calling it. Right. When will it be Chicago, like Jacksonville or Chicago will be like that? Where now you got a curfew. Now if you're caught within few yards of a certain business congregating in a group, you'll be arrested. Now you can't be so many yards or so many distances of a school if you're so many ages and all this old crap. Now alcohol is only served past 1 a.m. in the morning in that aspect. What happens?
Be careful how much of your liberty you give away for your safety.
True. And also,
be careful because you might be giving up your freedom.
Yeah. And understand this. Do you want your freedom or do you want free shit?
Break that down for me.
Okay. In one aspect, you have your freedom that you have every day. That's drawn out and written for you through the Bill of Rights and the Constitution of the United States. Now we know the history of these things in that aspect with black people. When they were written, you didn't even matter in that aspect.
Not at all.
But looking at that now and the evolution of our country, understanding this, we have people giving away certain rights just so they can have certain free things in exchange. All right? I don't want a tax cut or property or reparations, but all of a sudden you take away my goddamn right to vote in my district. How about that? I don't want in exchange a HUD voucher or an extended contract through the Department of Agriculture that gives me a 25% increase in food benefits, but at the same time you shut down all the goddamn grocery stores that produce anything as far as a stable market within my community. Freedom or free shit. Okay?
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. Because every time we think we've established something, here they are to come to cut the legs from under us.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be like so typical. So you give us the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and then you take, what was it, Section D out of it. You know what I'm saying? They cut the legs from up under it. It's like you give us, like I said, you'll give us integration, right? And then turn around and give us gentrification.
Correct. Like when you did the Emancipation Proclamation, but less than a year later, you made it illegal for a man of color to own a firearm.
Right. So,
yeah,
you know, like, you got white people not playing a fair game. It's literally like I say this all the time. It's like you're playing a game against the referees. The second you start to get traction, they'll just change the rules.
Mm-hmm.
The second we get traction, they change the rules. And like, it's voting time. It's voting time.
Let's not forget that. Get registered if you haven't. Shame of you if you haven't registered yet. Get out there before Tuesday.
Right. Go out there. Please vote. Please.
No matter what your
vote.
interests are, we don't care. What we care about, black men, black women, especially black men. We want you to get out there and voice your opinion. Go vote.
All right, because you got the tax collector is going to be on the ballot. The property appraiser is going to be on the ballot. City council for your district. City councilman is going to be on there. So these things affect you directly more than you'll ever really understand. You know what I'm saying? So you research. If you don't know what these positions are or what the people do or what their resumes are, it don't take but a few minutes. Take 30 minutes out your day. Google it, because this is important. This is vital.
It's vital because it involves your tax money.
Yes. Now, you can stay at home if you want to, but no, they're not.
They're not going to stay at home.
They are not staying home.
If they didn't show you by now, they vote and they give it in.
They vote every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Every year. Not every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Not every 4 years. Every year. So when, like I said, like my man Stephon Clark, I think I brought this up last episode. Stephon Clark got killed, got gunned down in the back of his grandma's backyard. Police say he had a gun, he had a cell phone, right? So they shot and killed him,
mm-hmm.
and they basically said, well, the cops were in the right, they did their job because they were just acting, they were just carrying out their duties that they were supposed to, even though he didn't have a weapon, he didn't show them a weapon, nor did they see a weapon. They said they thought the cell phone was a gun. It's funny how cell phones work. Got the triggers on them now. So, like I said, so the family, they trying to appeal. But you remember my man in Tulsa, Oklahoma, who was killed. He got killed after he was being tased. The little white cop, she killed him after he was being tased. Now they're sitting up there. They took that to federal judges, and you know who's currently in charge of appointing federal judges? Donald Trump. So you can imagine how that case went when they tried to appeal with the federal judges. They got denied. So I'm just letting you know, man. It's important that we vote every year. I ain't trying to preach y'all to death, but it is important. And I do want to take time to shout out Drip Culture Apparel. Right, they keeping me right with these t-shirts, man. Y'all go follow them. Drip Culture Apparel. Follow them on Instagram. I am at Step Got Jokes, because I'm Step and I got jokes. My man Mark, if people want to get in contact with you, what they got to do?
Just hit me up through here.
Yeah,
until I get straight to social media.
Yeah,
I'm kind of a dinosaur. I'm trying to
reach him at the podcast
right.
page. Okay, It's LA Podcast on Facebook. It's LA Podcast, but that's just short for Likeable Assholes. But you figured that out already.
I'd like to give a shout out to everybody in the Negro Manosphere, and also a definite shout out to everybody in New Zealand. And deep remorse for your loss. May Allah forgive me for the sins. May Allah grant them paradise. And also for Oscar Grant, the young man who lost his life at Fruitville Station around this time, a few years back in Los Angeles, who was 22 years old. He was handcuffed and was gunned down by a cop. Michael B. Jordan played his character in a film called Fruitville Station.
Oh, right. I knew that.
So let us not forget these names, and I love you, America. Black America, most definitely.
Yes.
Be good.
And I, one more time, take a shout out. I want to pray for everybody who lost someone in that crash with that Ethiopian that was on the Nigerian plane.
Yes.
My heart goes out to you. My prayers go out with you.
May the Most High forgive you of your sins. May He grant you paradise and a new life.
God bless you.
God bless you.
We thank y'all for tuning in and listening to another episode. Like I said, just keep checking in. We're dropping them every Saturday, so I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Every Saturday. You be good. See you.
Peace.